Hey sexy souls, welcome to Weird and Woo Woo, where I'm weird and we get a little woo woo. Okay, let's see here. I blanked on what day it was almost. I was like, what is the reading? I think it's a general. We're just going with a general. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about you all, but I have like this catch that's happening in my cheek. My cheek, if you know what I mean. Like where like it's at the center, but it's not my sciatica. It's that other one. And I'm like, I think I have to get a new pair of shoes. I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling. Okay, let's see here. Fantastic. Alrighty. Well, we're just gonna pull some cards. See what happens, okay? First, let me give you my spiel. You are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation to you is never Cinderella it to make it fit. Okay? Okay. Let's see here. Sometimes, like I see this and it looks like webbing. My brain is everywhere this morning. Let's hope my ADD gets reined in. Additionally, it is by chance raining actually outside, so okay, here we go. Now that you got to watch my little, I don't know, verbal vomit. I don't know. I was just saying whatever. Okay. I think I just had a little extra energy I had to get out before I started this. That's what I'm thinking. Probably enough time for people who don't want to stick around to leave and depart. I have like, my mind is going boom, 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 from one thought to the other. Because then I start thinking about, literally I thought about my son and what he's been doing lately. And then like, I'm just going ding, 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 like, like a pinball machine, ding, 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 all over the place. That might be the energy of somebody because I don't feel like I was doing that before I came on. But sometimes my brain runs wild. All the while, another part of my brain is running a very calm, whatever behind the scenes. Like I can, feeling like 10 different things are going on. And I, like children, I just tune it out when the brain is going to town. So anyways, that might be significant. Keys. Ooh, High Priestess. Okay. Knight of, I don't think these are supposed to. Knight of Cups. All right, all right, all right. So they're bringing me back to the key. That might be significant for any type of energy or entity that you work with. Unlocking doors, thresholds. Okay. Let's pull it in really quick. Okay, so for the High Priestess, I'm getting that for whoever I'm reading for, you've been receiving guidance, and as they do with this particular, obviously it's divination. It's almost like each card gives you a message, and it's almost like one card after the other is being revealed, like one step at a time or one morsel of the story. I just get like these transmissions. Now they're showing me somebody like in a plane, and you know how like ground control will be giving certain instructions and information to whoever's flying the plane, right? The pilot. So they get these bursts of transmission as they're doing something. It just feels like spiritual guidance or knowledge, morsels of something being revealed one at a time. We do have 9 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And it's like when all the pieces are there, like a full story is told. I don't know what that has to do with the Knight of Cups. Wow. Oh, geez. Lord of mercy. This is a really good. So it goes from the Knight of Cups, 3 of Cups, to the Empress. But the 3 of Cups is feeling a whole lot like fun, adventure, playfulness, very social. It has a very social, getting out kind of energy to it. It has a hint of like the 6 of Cups, where it's enjoying life's pleasures. When it's mixed with the Empress, I feel like the Empress is reaching that place of being able to enjoy life. And that's really what makes life feel abundant, right? That's what abundance is about. Okay. Are you waiting for an invitation? Oh, I think Spirit is letting you know you're about to receive an invitation. But can I say, the way that it's being presented to me isn't so much like the Knight of Cups, you think romantic, a date. Ooh, I don't know if that's exactly what's happening here. There's something about not being able to go alone. I don't know if you're unaware of something until somebody makes it, evident to you, but through invitation. Um, like those weekends where you think, oh, nothing's happening, nothing's going on, and you're kind of in that rut, and so you just plan for the same old, same old. You don't have any indication that something's going to be different. You don't know of anything, and somehow it's not that you're against getting out and enjoying things and finding pleasure in things. It's that you're just like, sometimes like until we are prompted, we don't do something. Again, it could just be like a rut. It could just be same old, nothing was on your radar, so it wasn't in your line of sight. But someone extends something to you and you're like, ooh, yes, and you go, like you participate. So this is an energy of you're about to receive some kind of invite, slash type of proposition, like, hey, what about that, kind of thing. It's probably in regards to something that, it's not something that you're opposed to. It's just something that you were unaware of. And so you're like, oh, and the encouragement is to say yes. The encouragement is to say yes. So it's getting you out in somewhere very, a group-like setting, a social setting. There's a lot in that for you. I'm getting that some of you might be a mom. And that might be why you don't generally get out. Like the stars have to align for schedules and for so you kind of get into a rut. That very well be may be for somebody. Um, there's also something about getting out and having more fun, becoming more social, and I really feel like, for lack of a better term, like community engagement. Sometimes we walk out into the world and we go and do things and we are like in our own little bubble. This is not that, right? This is the kind of getting out there and you're interacting and your energy's playing off of other people and things are going back and forth and you're bouncing things around, and you're just enjoying that. Again, they're giving me a bunch of different little things, so just stick with me. I also feel like they're showing me, they're bringing me to somebody might be invited to go out in nature. This could be camping. They're showing me a waterfall though, so it doesn't have to be camping. You can go out for a day and hike to a waterfall or something like that. But it's like it's getting you out and about and engaging, and there's definitely the involvement of people. Just saying, and that's where I think the difference is that you may not have anticipated this, and maybe haven't been able to for quite some time. There's something in it for you. There's a good payoff. I do get the sense that for some of you, there's going to be, it's almost like the domino effect where like it breaks the cycle, it breaks the ice, and you're like, you're back, you get out more after this initial event or whatever this is that you're going to be doing. It's like it lights a fire in your desire and you're percolated and you're paying attention to things that are going on and you're finding reasons to get out. Like, so this isn't an isolated event is what I'm trying to say. But there is something specific, I think, about this particular invite. Ooh, you're probably gonna get it. Oh, you're gonna get attention. Okay, Queen of Wands gets attention without trying. Literally just being herself. You know, not doing anything special. There's an aura about her. It's killing me because it's hilarious when you have teenagers and you watch them take pictures of one another and like I am all for it. Like I get pulled into it and they're like, come take a picture of I'm like, all right. And I be telling them, listen to me. Listen to me. Talk proper, Shauna. I will be instructing them, like turn your head here, do this. Here, let me go from this angle. Like I get into it with them. But they call it, I don't know if they're farming aura or like it's aura. They've got aura. And I'm like, oh my God. With some of the weirdest stuff. And I'm like, really? This is where you're okay. But I'm in it. I'm there with them. I'm over there encouraging it, I guess. Anyways, so you have aura. You have something emanating from you. And it draws attention. It draws people in. I do want to say, I feel like maybe your personality and when you're just blissfully having fun, something happens. Something emanates from you. And it doesn't even have to be like I don't want you to think of like these comedies and how like they're really like you just you I just feel like I get the sense they really are saying aura. Actually, your aura brightens. There's something about when you're smiling or the way that you engage with your eyes and like your presence feels very inviting. There is also something about confidence here. I'm not quite sure what they want to say about that because it's almost like I don't want to say. There's something about when you're in the middle of fun and your mind isn't distracted by insecurities, like your level of confidence. Let's say that you're moving through life and there's a lot of things that you're like, you have a couple of insecurities that are bothering you, that prevent you from wanting to engage in things that cause attention, right? Or, like I get the sense that when you get lost in a fun moment, when you get lost in the thrill or the play of having fun, you forget about those insecurities and you shine. You're not timid, you don't hold back. It's like, you know how like I always tell my son, he's like because he's anyways, he used to experience it's teenage shit, right? You know, where you like insecurities and stuff like that. And sometimes he just didn't want to go out because something wasn't right or whatever. And I one time told him, I said, "Don't you love those days when you feel so good in your skin?" I was like that you just go the whole day just feeling the shit out of yourself and everything's amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and have you noticed that those days are the days where you don't walk by a mirror? I was like, it's almost as if as long as you don't, it doesn't, something doesn't bring it to your attention, you feel good. I was like, that moment behind like, wow, there's so much running through my head right now. The energy is, wow. Somebody is about to actually finally kick off their summer. Okay. So Northern Hemisphere, we in parts of the Northern Hemisphere, not everywhere. We call parts of spring summer when it really isn't. One, because of like school breaks and things like that, and so we'll call it summer. But we all know that summer solstice hasn't hit yet, so technically it's still spring. And so when they're talking about summer, they are talking like the summer solstice for the next 3 months. They really are referencing summer, like somebody's summer is going to kick off. And be a lot of fun. But anyways, back to the story. So like, you know how like you're feeling yourself, you're having fun, and like somehow in your body you feel like you look good. You feel really great. You don't think about the way that your facial expressions go or, you know, how your body looks. It's only when you look in a mirror, when you pass by a mirror. And so have you ever done that thing where you're like, I'm not looking in a mirror? I'm just not looking in a mirror. Like you start your day and you move on. And then that way you kind of like, it's that same sense where when you're in your fun space and you're in that energy and you've lightened up, like can't nobody tell you nothing. Like you forget. It's almost like there's something about something tends to trigger. It's like the mirror is a trigger to remind you, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be insecure about this. But when you're having fun, you don't give enough. And I think that there is a need to get you in the I don't give enough kind of energy. Okay, so hear me out. I, I feel like I'm in somebody's head where they'll be doing something. Let's say you haven't looked in a mirror all day. They'll be doing something and they're really in it and their brain, you know, that little lizard brain that tries to, especially if you have OCD, this happens a lot, where it tries to kind of like interject something negative into your mind and it'll be like, you know, you don't, like it'll try to say something negative about your body or like your situation. Sometimes the insecurities aren't about your body. Like sometimes this little voice will try to stop you from having fun because you know you still have like 10 bills at home that you haven't paid and blah 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 blah, and you know we've got all these things coming down the track, and you really shouldn't. Almost like you're not allowed to have fun because there's something wrong, and as long as things aren't perfect, you can't. You know what I mean? And so like it's almost as if it's like in isolation or at home or when you're on your own little bubble, those triggers are aplenty. Those thoughts try to trip you up aplenty to keep you in that negative stance. And I don't know if you're neurospicy and so it's dopamine seeking because, you know, we get more quicker, faster dopamine from the negativity and the emotions that it elicits. But it's almost as if like you're, again, I keep getting this sense of like even if you're not in front of a mirror, your brain will try to interject something in the middle of it. But when you're in the flow of fun and pure joy, something about it can't, like, you're going to be able to ignore it. Like the brain will try to say something, but something about what you're doing, who you're with, what you're engaged in is so good that those little triggers can't pull you out of it, which is the reason why Spirit wants you to enjoy life a little more. A lot more, they just said. A lot more. There's something about breaking that pattern. But also when you're in that little bubble where either a mirror or something always finds a way to remind you of something you're supposed to not like, and it reminds you that it's not perfect, and so therefore how dare you enjoy yourself. Once you get in the flow, so they're giving me like Nemo. Remember the turtle, and it had that current that they could pop in and out of. And he would poke his head in and come back out, and I was like, once you're in the flow, once you're in that current, you're off. Those things can't seem to get you. It must be that those triggers get you, those thoughts, the things that you see, things like that get brought up before you ever engage, almost as a way to stop you from getting in the current. Because once you're in that flow, it doesn't pull you out. So Spirit's aiming to get you in that flow again, okay? Because there's something about needing to bring your confidence to the forefront, and it's like a muscle. Like you don't use it, you lose it kind of situation. And so when you indulge in the thoughts, the triggers, and allow it to keep you in a holding space. And so you are deprived of confidence because they give it to me almost like it's not something that you lack. There's been a pattern and a practice put in place in your life that keeps you in like a holding space, energetic holding space, where you don't get to you're not allowed to indulge in that almost. But on the real, you have a lot of confidence. So you could be in a stage of life or in a phase right now where I'm just going to be real with you. It is easy for me to get into that kind of a space if I've not had sunlight. ADHD, autism, different things like that, neurospicy folks, frequently, a good portion of us have difficulties with vitamin D levels and things like that. We have to get out in the sun. Now you have others who have so many sensitivities to temperature and this, that, and the other. Like their needs are different. But if I don't get access to the sun, let me just tell you. So it's, again, like I feel like somebody was in a holding tank, in a pattern that it's almost like it's not real. Like you can dislike certain things, and you can also, have an insecurity because you're like, I wish to change this. And it can be very real. What I'm saying is what's not real is this perception that you lack confidence, that you lack self-love. You're getting trapped in a bubble, in a holding tank, where the triggers come so quickly, you don't ever get to dive into that current, that vortex that can whisk you away, where you're almost untouchable. Does that make sense? And so something keeps happening just before you launch into that tunnel. Okay. And so this invitation is kind of like somebody that's already in the vortex reaching out, grabbing you, and yanking you in. Oh, I love this. Okay, I love it. Okay. There's something, and when you're in that, that's your element. When you are like all the aspects of yourself that are very true to you, that are who you really are, that you haven't been able to almost like touch, taste, feel, interact with for some time, come like rushing back. It's like you feel at home in your body. You feel at home in yourself. You feel really like yourself. And so, yeah, you feel like yourself. And that's like I want to say for whoever I'm reading for, that's where you manifest from. And I have an intrusive thought right now. There may be, cover your ears. There may be somebody that's intrusive in your energy. Okay, so they're showing me somebody that feeds off of it. So like there may be people in your energetic field, whether you're having consistent contact with them or not, but they feed off of your joy, off of your enthusiasm, your optimism, because they need that energy. They need something to lift them up. And so it's almost like sometimes when you're about to go into the vortex, that tunnel, that flow, the current is what they're saying. So other people or their energies start to siphon, and it's like those are triggers. Like that's when the triggers happen. Not always, but like they add to this perpetual state. So you're going to get pulled into a current sans those people. Without them. And when you're feeling good and doing better than you have for some time, they are going to get jealous. They will, I really keep getting this idea like they try to, it's almost like they stew in their own shit. And it's almost like they think that that they're supposed to have access to that type of energy when you have it. Not even necessarily you, but that energy. Like whatever energy you exist in, they get to partake in or drink from as well. And so when they're stewing, they're brewing up yuck energy. And when they're incessantly thinking about you, because I don't know if they would call it jealous, but there is a bit of I don't feel that way. I want to feel like that. You know what I mean? And so these people have to have some level of access to you. Doesn't mean that they're like in your inner circle, but I would say people in your inner circle do tend to have a higher probability of tapping into your energy. And so, and see right here, this is the protective stance. You need to be proactive in protecting your energy, okay? I'm going to say that. And that's really what this is going to do. Something about this is I feel like you're going to create distance from them energetically. You may still talk to them from time to time. It's not like you have turned your back on them. It's not as if you've shut them down, but I do get the sense that you are distancing yourself energetically, and they're going to be able to tell, because it's almost like without being able to partake from your high vibration, your energetic optimism and things like that, they finally get to realize just how dense and mucky theirs is, and they've had to sit in it. That's why I guess the energy of like stewing. So I bet there's a lot of times where just before you're able to do something, things go wrong, or suddenly you don't have the energy, or you get really absent-minded, and then opportunities pass you by, and That's those kind of individuals. It mucks up your energy, they muddle it, it weakens your aura. Um, and I get this sense of they feel like that's what friends do. Like, like don't leave me behind. I don't know why I said friends, but there's, it's this sense of like I don't know if they offload on you and it dampens everything. Like you'll be going good and it's like because their shit's so dense, they almost try to it into your and what I get is you don't ask for it. Because I'm the one person where it's like if you ask and I tell you the truth, you don't get to play victim, right? But if they're just like in like I just get the sense that it's like whoever this is might even just wait. Like they let something build up and they'll wait and they'll contact you or come to you and they just offload it on you, right? Um and so then they leave feeling good and you suddenly feel like yuck. Um there's definitely a friend for somebody because I heard that's what friends do. Like, and it's like, no, actually, no. I am not in charge of taking on some of your shit so you can feel better and then it weighs me down. And it doesn't even have to be that they interact with you. I do get a sense that at times, um, I don't know why I feel like you could think of them and their energy alone can pull you down. Um, And I don't know why I get the feeling like there's certain people, because now it's giving me like family, like there's certain individuals who, um, like bleed their energy so they leak it everywhere, that I don't know, like it just offloads. If you experience something, even when you think of somebody, they most certainly have very, very leaky energy. And I would say whatever you feel energetically with them or as a result of them, and it may not be consistent. It may be like hit or miss, which is really shitty because then you're like, I don't like, is it safe or is it not? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's not like but if they have really leaky energy, um, you're going to get it, especially in your abdomen. Uh, I would say a lot in your solar or sacral. You're going to feel it there. Um, like an energetic tug or an energy spot. So um, with that, let's get back. You're gonna get put into more of a current where it's almost like their energy can't keep up, can't attach, can't really handle that, right? And so it creates a separation energetically. Um, there's purpose behind the kind of summer that spirit wants you to have. And so spirit's really involved in letting you know they're behind whatever's coming through. Okay. Um, and this is protection. They really want your energy. I just heard unfuckwithable, but they want your energy pristine and with you. They don't want anybody dumping into it and they don't want you getting siphoned from. Now, to a certain degree, is a part of this your responsibility? Absolutely. But like anybody else, if you have a creek that is contaminated, you can't just be like, you can't just will yourself to not absorb the toxins or the chemicals or the poison, right? And still play in it. You have to be removed. And then you have to purge that. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where it's kind of like that shit only works up to a certain degree. And then you have to take steps, right? And sometimes, because think mind, body, spirit connection, right? Sometimes we have to take steps in the physical, and the material, the tangible aspects, so that it helps with the energetic ones. Okay, so I feel like this is like this is almost as if it's like, and it's a physical thing that's happening that impacts the energetic, that then overall impacts the whole trifecta, right? Um, and so that in and of itself is protection, because when you're allowed to get into that energy and you get to kind of like experience it back to back, um, with it allows it recharges itself, right, and amplifies it, and it grows. That's a protection for you. Okay, my deck's upside down. Wow, that's a lot. I love it when they come through like that and it's channeled like that. I love it. Friggin' sun, I'm telling you, it's gonna get good. Okay. Oh, there's 4 of these bad boys. Oh, yeah. I'm fucking telling you. You've lacked motivation in some areas, or follow through, creativity, drive, passion for certain things. Because you've been in that hold tank for far too long. We've got the moon, things really shoved down. You have a lot bubbling in. And then the 9 of Swords, like you're not, you're pulled in to this. I get like swirling thoughts. Like things are just, this feels more like, I know it's worries and fears, but it's like pondering, and when you mull over something too much, it's almost like you get pulled into a it's a mental trap of sorts, a mental emotional trap right here. And so this is bringing you out of it. This is just confirmation. 6 of Swords, you're moving from that. Spirit is moving you from that. And it's funny because I talked about the current in the water on, that movie. But the same is true for the 6 of Swords in Rider-Waite. They're in the choppy waters, but they're in the boat, and the boat is taking them. And there are 2 people. So somebody is taking you. So again, the invitation, taking you out of that to calmer waters, to the and using the current, right? Okay, so there is. Let's talk about that. Let's ask. I'm gonna put this back up. Let's ask about the invitation then. This Knight of Swords. I almost said Knight of Swords. Knight of Wands. No, what the fuck? It's a Knight of Cups. My mouth is just saying anything at this point. Okay. Golden Universal. Sorry, I have the lamp on, like the light on way over there, but I'm near the window and it is not bright outside because it's been raining. So that's why we have this mood. Like the lighting is definitely a mood. First off, amazeballs. Path is clear, everything working smoothly, things are brighter, enjoyment. I talked to you about being able to get in the sun. The amount of joy that is replenished. You are recharged with this. But I want to know about the Knight of Cups. I said it. Are you proud of me? You should be. That was hard. It's seriously hard. I just saw the Ace of Wands. Ooh. It is going to be very enticing, actually, which is a good thing. It's going to be enticing enough that you will say yes. But Spirit's still coming through. Like, you better say yes. you went out. The story behind the Five of Swords is like some kind of like mental game, mental conquest, mental conflict, outsmarting, and it's like there's two people walking away. Um, and they may feel like this is talking about that energy, and I'm about to put this over here because I'm not fucking with that energy. It's not going to make its way into this goddamn fucking reading, okay? Yes, I cuss. This is the notion that they feel like you kind of like it's an unfair thing, right? Like like it's a situation where you're supposed to win out. It's your life, your energy. It's you. No one is supposed to win in your life out over you for your life, your happiness. What are we talking about? And so it's the idea of like, well, only one person can be in charge of your life. Might as well be you. It's like only in this situation, only one person can win out. Might as well be you. So it's yeah. See how there's two swords down here, but this person's holding three swords? It's giving this is going to create distance. And it's like you're willing, especially once you get into that current, that flow, you're willing to create that distance and say goodbye permanently if you have to. Because once you get into that, ain't no way you're going to give that up for somebody else. Ain't no way. So if it causes sadness, then it causes sadness. But I think because the person holding the swords is the one that won out in a situation, which you're supposed to when it comes to you. Nobody should have the upper hand or energetic force over you. It's not their life to live, and it's not your responsibility to sustain somebody else's life force. So you went out. You went out as you should, and they might view you as if you've hurt them. And I'm not saying they're going to say it out loud, but they feel like you've hurt them. They will be sad. They will grieve. They will look at you as the source of that grief or to potentially blame. Okay? Now I'm going to take this little fucker and put him over here because we ain't got time for your shit. We're going to put the tourmaline on the top. Fuck that shit. We ain't playing with it. In fact, you get to go face down because don't nobody want to see your ass. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. That is the last I will entertain from that in this reading. Baby. King of Cups. Why does this feel like, ooh, there's a selection here out of many. Out of many. Like, it is giving okay, I don't do the chosen people bullshit because generally they're the ones that fuck shit up in this world. Anybody who thinks that they're chosen, no matter what their beliefs are, I don't like that. You won't find me subscribing to that. That's not this channel. King of Cups does not extend their energy, their emotions, their vulnerabilities, and any of that to just anybody. They have a high level of discernment. So you can feel a little chosen. You can appear to be a bit chosen. For the sheer selectiveness that they have. Okay? Because they have options. There's a lot of options. But for whatever reason, something is extended to you, something you're invited as opposed to these others. Something tells me whatever you go out and do, leads somebody to seeing you in a light that they don't see anybody else in. You stand out amongst the crowd, hence the Queen of Wands energy. Oh, this is getting good. Okay. Oh. Oh my. Okay, look. We got so high. We have the World card and the Lovers. Oh, something might develop from this. Because when they get to see you as the Queen of Wands, the World card does kind of give like, maybe other people wanted this invite or this proposition or this opportunity. But you kind of get picked for it. It doesn't feel like a competition, even though, why does so-and-so want to hang out with so-and-so? Why didn't they call me? Or I don't know. This could just be the peanut gallery that's like not understanding, like, of all the people that could have stood out in the crowd to this one individual. Why you? I don't know. But we do have a sense of this social situation getting you to a point of connecting with people you're meant to connect with. Somebody very specifically. So I pulled these asking about, so this invitation must come from somebody where it's like, really? Me? Something very selective. Even think to the degree of like somebody who like highly selective colleges or universities, right? And obviously it's a competitive situation, even though you're really just competing against yourself to get in, right? And you get invited. It has that sense of like you're looking around like, that might be why it makes it easier to say yes. And so the night, like, this is something that can evolve. I'm gonna cover the tatas. Oh, look, perfect. Covering the tatas, I gotta see shell. Whoop! More tatas. Why? Tarot decks really love showing the tatas. I'm just saying. Okay. Travel could be involved. Let me tell you. Travel could be involved. Tell me more about the Knight of Cups. What is the invite about? Well, this is to have some fun. Let me tell you. This is having some fun. Okay, somebody's inviting you out to have some fun. And all of, like, the idea is, like, when I say the end result looks like it could lean into having a very strong, solid connection with somebody, the initial energy is they're definitely specifically asking you, and it feels like, really? But it's not so, like, I don't feel the energy of romance or love being pushed on somebody. However, this is the Knight of Cups. Very romantic gestures, very, like, that's probably the intention behind the invite. But maybe I'm getting that you're like, you don't want to believe that because you're like, what? Because this person has options, you're thinking, they probably just invited me out because of X, Y, and Z. Not for that particular reason. But actually, I think this person has very specific reasons for inviting you to whatever this is. And it may be because there's definitively an attraction. Again, remember, Queen of Wands. Boy, whatever they think they know of you, when you get out and you're starting to have fun and you're glowing, oh, they know for sure. They know, like, you stand out for sure in that. Like, there's something that gets amplified, and they may be the person that you end up going and doing more things with. It's like they may be the person that ensures that you're getting out, socializing, having fun, blah blah blah. You know, because they want to spend more and more time with you. They want to see you like that, in that light, in that energy, more and more and more. Oh. It is a very phallic, very attraction based. There is attraction there. Okay. What are they going to do? I said Knight of Swords earlier when I was trying to say Knight of Cups. Take you away. I don't know why I'm getting it. They want to be your only option. They want to see if this passion, if there's chemistry. That song "Fly Me Away with You," that one is playing in my head. I feel the energy. I'm trying to explain it because it's not your traditional. They're going to quickly want to change something from friendship status to more. That's their intent. Like, they wouldn't ask you out in this manner or invite you out to do something in this fashion if it wasn't for the purpose of seeing if the chemistry and the passion is matched, moving things beyond just a platonic type of. They want change. That's what they want to change something. They want to. I just heard change your status. That's so cliche. Find some different fucking words, Spirit. Knight of Swords. They definitely want to change something about your situation. Do they know them? They got to a little bit. You ain't just gonna go out with a stranger. Maybe. Could be a blind date. Who is this? Okay, let's close. Okay, you know what? You're gonna make me mad. Who is this? We're gonna wrap it up really quick. Oh, they get on my nerves sometimes. Okay. I'm getting brought back to the idea of the mom, and so this is going to happen at a time when, like, timing might be a thing for you. If you are a mother or have other obligations, like as a carer, some things that you have to take care of. So, like, your schedule may be a certain way, remember? And so it's going to work out. And I am still getting, it could be something where you're invited for like a weekend trip somewhere. Like, I'm fly away with me. Like that song. I can't even remember what the song is. Okay, back to the Page of Cups. They want me to focus on the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. So this could be like a mutual, somebody within your, in a very platonic state right now. This is somebody very in a platonic state. I'd say that they really have. You might, okay, so here's the thing. You could be invited out by a friend that then leads to meeting this person, and y'all end up having immense chemistry and things like that. Because again, this is like baby steps. This is conversing. This is friendship level. And then it escalates quickly. We have the Knight of Cups into the King of Cups into the Lovers. And it's like, woo, there's a kind of thing. So like the first time may be low intensity, meaning like it's not this I'm taking you to this and we're going here to do this and da 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 da. It might be like a group invite. It might be like come, and you can whatever. There's a lot of thought that's gone into this. Take a look. Look, Page of Cups. Look at all them little tentacles coming out. Like connecting. They are prompted. Remember I said like step, 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 step until the full story. This is a lot of downloads. Remember I was saying you're getting, or they are getting, maybe both of y'all have gotten this, like, information passed to you. You may be aware that this summer is going to change. They maybe have been guided. This could be somebody very woo telepathic connection with. And it's not for everybody, but okay. They want to change the circumstance. So, oof. Page of Pentacles. Look at me. Page of Pentacles looks like the Empress would, though, where it's like the seed that gets planted. On the off chance the chemistry is off the hook and things move fast and blah 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 blah, when I said that, I thought, ooh, you might want to be careful. Seeds being planted, like, that's probably not for everybody, but that might be for somebody. But this is like, whatever this invite is, that's why they're going to ask you out more and more and more and more and do more and more and more. It's going to create a cascade. This is going to move fast, but naturally. There's a lot of promise here. This acts like the catalyst for something new in your life. Okay. So that can also be the change of the Knight of Swords. This is getting you like, oh, the key. It's opening a door to a path you've not been on. It's going to open the door for a new path. Getting out and doing this. Oh, yes. I forgot about the key in the beginning. Alrighty. So say yes. Say yes. I feel like it's going to be coordinated in such a way where it lands at the perfect time, catches you at the right moment, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be very easy to say yes to this. This isn't something where you have to kind of like plan for it, save up for it, do something. Like, it's going to be very easy. So your job literally is just saying yes. And there's something very, again, social, natural about this. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun, and that's where you shine. That is where you shine. Something also about this situation that takes you out of the element of too much introspection, over analysis, insecurities. Like, you get, like, it pulls out of you a more natural state of who you are. And you are just going to shine. So there's no reason not to say yes. Okay? Hope this message finds who it's meant for. Hope you have a fantastic, wonderful day. And I'll see you at the next read.